Coalition of northern groups call for referendum. Coalition of northern groups call for referendum. And of course, when Biafra called for referendum, they said it was a call for what? Today, every region is talking about referendum. Of course, we set the pace. Others learn from us. Okay, we have another one here. A Fulani herdsman was caught with 86 rounds of live ammunition concealed inside a bag of garri. Inside a bag of garri, 86 rounds of live ammunition concealed inside a bag of garri. So we all have to be careful these days. That man you see moving around you with a sack or whatever, be careful. Something deadly might be in that bag. You don't trust them. We'll have the fifth one here. Police deny confirming arrest of killers of Afenifere leader's daughter. Of course, the killing of Afenifere leader's daughter has really caused a commotion. A lot of reports coming. It was Fulani herdsmen. After that, they said it wasn't Fulani herdsmen. After that, we heard it's an Igbo. You know, the Igbos killed him. After that, we had a report that they have been abducted and they are ready to make confession. They are not Fulani herdsmen. But today, the police have come out again, the same police, to deny confirming arrest of killers of Afenifere leader's daughter. That is how much confusion the Fulani, the Yoruba Gota media can always, that's all they can do, causing confusion. And we have the last one here. Northern Elders Forum, the CJN's other headsmen out of South. Northern Elders Forum, the coalition of Northern Elders and others, the other headsmen out of South. You know what it means? They've told their brothers, the headsmen, they come back to the North. So we really need to be careful. We need to understand what they are moving. Every of their moves need to be well calculated. We do not need to be deceived because they have a lot installed. So these are the headlines we will be discussing this morning. And of course, Mazi Elvis will be joining us in a couple of minutes so that he will also say his own. He will also let us know what he thinks about what we have here. So let's start from the first one while we await him. That's we're having some network issues. And please do not forget, lest I forget, that we need your sponsorship. We need your assistance. This program do not need to go off air even for a day. From the look of things, from all that is going on in the contraption, please, this program do not need to go off air for a day. That is why we need your sponsorship. We need you to support us. You can do it. We need to fix our internet. We need to get a good video mixer, whichever one you can get for us. We also need good cameras. So whichever one you can do, please ensure you do that. We also need financial assistance, little finance, to help us. Just like I said last time, I can't be in the studio. I'm sweating because we need some things to be put in order. So please do the much you can. Contact us through our WhatsApp line, and then we'll work together and see how things work out for the benefit of all Biafrans. Do not forget, we have sworn an oath to restore Biafra or we die in the process. There will be no retreat and no surrender. If the only option left for us is to take our freedom by violence, then every living thing in the zoo will be destroyed. That time is now. Don't forget, while the people in the field are carrying out the activities, we need to be here to report to the world what is going on. Now they've called back the Fulani herdsmen. What is the fate of our people over there? So these are reasons we must keep this place running. In case you do not know, we must keep this place running, and we are determined. We are going nowhere. It is Biafra or Biafra. All right, so let's go to the first one. Nimbo massacre. I recorded killings to show my people our success, says the Fulani man arrested. Okay, some chilling details have emerged on the April 25th massacre of residents of Nibo community in Enugu State by Fulani herdsmen following the arrest of a 24-year-old suspect, Muhammadu Zurai, by the Inspector General of Police Special Intelligence Response Team. Zurai, who was arrested alongside 4 other suspects, Siroma Musa, Saleh Adamu, 33, Suleiman Laute, and Haruna Laute, 24, told the police that at least 100 Fulani herdsmen from 7 states took part in the massacre. According to the suspect, Fulani leaders rearing cows in Taraba, Kogi, Benue, Nasarawa, Katsina, Niger, and Kaduna states contributed representatives to take part in the attack. Zurai, a Fulani herdsman living in Kogi state, said he was born in Enugu state, even though his family are from Gabashehu town in Taraba state. His statement revealed that prior to the attack, kola nuts were shared among Fulani leaders in the 7 states earlier identified, urging them to support the attack. According to Zurai, the attack came because of the killing of 6 Fulani herdsmen in the community in the past, without repercussion. Saturday Punch learned that the leader later sent representatives who took part in the attack. 2 days before the attack, a meeting where the plans were perfected was held in Ameke town, Kogi state. The police had revealed that a video recording of the killing was recovered from Zurai. And Zurai said, after we attacked the town through the bush, I saw a man who had just been slaughtered on the ground. I brought out my phone and recorded the scene. I asked the dead man, your people had confidence to kill Fulani people, but now you are dead. Don't you know that Fulani owns Nigeria? I recorded the video to show my relatives in Kogi, where I live, how successful the operation was. As we moved around Nimbo, I saw an Igbo man who used to give me food anytime I was in the state. I warned him to quickly leave town to avoid being killed. Zurai said he was invited to take part in the killing by one Buba. He identified leaders who participated in the killing as Alhaji Sudar, Alhaji Kuriwa, Alhaji Dula, and Ado Dula, living in Enugu State. Others he identified are Malam Adamu, Alhaji Chiroma, Adamu Saka, Alhaji Bodo, Alhaji Iro, Kogi, and Alhaji Fanya from Kogi State. Okay, years after this revelation is coming, this confession is coming from one of the participants of the massacre of our people in Nimbo. So what do you have to say about this confession?
Okay, well, thank you very much, my sister. The truth of the matter is I am coming from a contrary angle, because he made a statement that he recorded the video in order to show some of his relatives, to confirm the killing. Now, that is where my own bone of contention is. Who are the relatives of these very Fulani herdsmen? Yeah. Now, literally, from what you can see that is happening ultimately in Biafran land, especially in that Enugu part, we have been complaining, a lot of people keep saying that we have the 3 wise men are coming from the east. But I think we have more than 10 or 20 foolish men that are coming from Biafra land, which is the east. Now, we have our useless so-called governors over there. But the one that pains me most is this useless governor, Ugwanya, what is it called? Because he is the relative of these Fulanis. And those Fulanis, they make the video in order to confirm, because ever since this killing happened, what is the only thing he could do? Because I believe the Fulani herdsmen, that killing they are talking about must have happened maybe in the past 200 or 400 centuries. Because we haven't had anything about that Fulani people being killed. It is the killing that happened for a long time.
But in the past.
Yes, that happened a very long time in the past, and they kept it in their hearts, and they took revenge in a very prolific way. Now, what did their Fulani counterpart or relative in the government house did? He came out and cried like a baby, and called for fasting and prayer, and after drinking pap and concluding the fasting and prayer, he went back again. The same Fulani relative employed, in fact, the SA to Enugu State Governor is a Fulani man, the man that can speak Igbo more than the governor himself. Now, he used Fulani people to round himself, like a wall. Fulani people are the ones cooking for him. They are the ones helping him out in every single thing. That is why it is very, very hard for him to come out and condemn whatever wrong they did. Even their relative like Ike Kuremadu, what did he do after the killing? Nothing. Ultimately, nothing. Because that kind of a thing, if it is a sane society where people reason like a human being, if that kind of thing should happen, you don't even have to wait until the whole of your people got killed or the village completely got wiped out. Just one killing of one human being there is enough for the people to wake up and chase away the Fulani completely. But now they went and embraced them, and they were relative. They were now having some heart-to-heart discussion. Imagine Fulani telling Ugwani and the people we call Eze, Abi, what am I going to call them? Telling them that Oga Balani, that is all of them, the evil plan they are making together, that plan Gabaloha. So that is the angle I'm coming from. Yes, they might have their relative in the north, like the Buhari, the rest of them, the Sultan of Sokoto and the rest of them. But the relative they have over here in the east, they are the worst type of relative to us, because we are sharing the same kind of lineage with them. We don't know if it is by accident or a deliberate attempt. So people should be aware of the true culprit here, because anybody that did not condemn evil, then it means that you are far more worse than those who participated in committing that evil. So that is why they have to record that very video in order to show to Governor Ugwa and look, we fulfilled your mandate, and also show to some of their brethren over there that look, this thing we are planning is working. And that is why Ugwa still have the temerity to take the land that doesn't even belong to him, to offer to the people, to give to the Fulani herdsmen, and to to compensate them and to pamper them. Can't you see to that? So what kind of other relative would they have that is better than the one they have in Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, Ike Ekweremadu, and the rest of them that accommodated these very jihadists in our land, killing our people and committing all sorts of crime, raping our women, and committing a very heinous crime in our land, and nothing is being done to them. So it is the relative of the Fulani we have in our different government house that we should hold responsible this time around. We'll bring them to pay their retributive consequences.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, we are, according to the confession, according to the report, this young man, this young Fulani of 24 said he was born and bred in Enugu State. So what do you have to say about that? That a lot of them are just, in fact, they like we have in, I think, Akweke or Ameke town, where they were speaking, even the Igwe or the chief or whatever said, we have been living with them for years. They even speak Igbo more than most of us, and then we've not had any problem. So, and this young man just said that he was born and bred in Enugu. He grew up in Enugu State. He has been part of that community, yet he was able to carry out such a heinous crime. So what does it have to say concerning the fact that so many of our leaders said, these people have been living with us, they are good, we have no problem with them, we are only against the foreign ones that are coming in. Now this young man also said, they went and called the others from other communities. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
other states, they came and then they did the whole thing.
The truth of the matter is, my sister, the truth of the matter is that those statements they are making, it sounds more emotional if you are paying attention to it. You know, what they are doing is emotional blackmail. By the time they blackmail you, they use what they call reverse psychology. By the time they begin to twist your brain around and make you begin to walk out of your shell, you wouldn't even have time to notice the real situation on ground. Yes, they were born and brought up from that community, and then does it make them a part of Biafrans? Do we share the same blood? Do we share the same thing in common? They still sleep with their cow. They still make love to cow. It doesn't still change that their ideology, even those that were born in Biafran land, it still didn't change their ideology. And now let them not fool anybody. What Fulani does is they strategically plant their people over, because this is exactly the same reason, the excuse they will present to the world entirely. Say, after all, we've been living with these people in peace. Did it not happen in Mecca? When Muhammad came, he's not from Mecca whatsoever. Yeah. And when he came, he used this same reverse psychology. We should be brothers now. We have been good neighbors living for years, until he must have recruited a large number of armies and strike them the first time. But because of the fact that the people, they were also prepared in that regard, they withstood him, they resisted him, and he was conquered. Then he went back again, and this time around he came with deception, signing a treaty with them. How do you sign a treaty with your enemy who is ready to kill you at any moment? He signed a 10-year treaty that from now to 10 years nobody will attack each other. And the foolish people, the makers, they gladly accepted. So since this man want peace, let us offer him peace. And at the end of the day, they were living peacefully. Until after 2 years, Muhammad couldn't even wait until the 10 years before he strikes. And the people were so relaxed, they don't expect anything to happen. That is when they struck. Now, this very young man now that said that he was born and brought up from there, that is exactly the purpose. He was born and brought up so that he can study the terrain and understand how foolish our people, like that very Eze now that is talking that nonsense. Any day, you know, the Fulani will arouse and strike him. And it will come to him as he said, but these people we've been living, they don't know anything, they don't have anything to do with peace. They call themselves religion of peace, but they are religion of war. So what they believe, even if you are friend with them, even if you have been, you know, having some transaction, even he pitied that his friend, if not, other ones that I have known in the north, that happen in the north, even the Kaduna, the Sharia killing. Yeah. There are some people who have a very close friend, more than a brother, from the Biafran origin, and at the end of the day, they are the first people that went and killed those their friends. They point and look at where those my friends are, and they got all of them killed. So now the same thing is still what they are planning here, but it's just because they haven't gotten a majority, they haven't gotten a handful of men that will carry out the attack. That is why they begin to send their representative. Okay, you can imagine where a Fulani man, our holy seed, our holy fruit that we use.
You know, we never can tell if really is that kola nut. Kola nut could be money, kola nut could be anything. Okay, well, I don't know what it is, but literally they mentioned kola nut. And you know what we do? When you mention kola nut to an average Igbo man or an average Biafran, you know the first thing that comes to his mind. Exactly. As you know what Oji Jikoribo, but so Oji is one of the things that is binding all of us together, because we practice the same thing everywhere at any place. So for the Fulani people to come in our midst, learn our culture, learn our art, and say this culture is a strong body kind of something, let us begin to share it with our brethren. And immediately they share it, the thing unite all of them together, and they begin to send their representative to strike. That is why. So that is why I still keep referring to their distant relative in the so-called government house, 4 categories, because when all this killing happened, none of them could do anything to save their people, to forestall further killing in those very places. Because after that, we still had some other killing after some time. So the killing will never stop. Definitely, it will never stop. And let me remind you that Dangote that you know, okay, maybe I will have to talk about that some other time. But Dangote that you know today is one of the highest supplier of weapon of mass murder. Yes, mass destruction. Dangote is the one that, because nobody searches his trailer, go and check it anywhere. His trailer, no police stops it, because he have bought them plenty vehicle, gave them shut up money, so they can't say anything. Dangote trailer is free to kill as many people as it wants. The driver will not be arrested, and you never go to any police station and find Dangote trailer there. But Dangote trailer kills people every day. It kills people. It kills our people. It goes to the market and barge into the market where our women are selling and kill a lot of people. Now the same Dangote trailer they are using to supply weapons to their brothers, and our people don't know about it. So they are bringing a lot of weapons, and they are getting more men on ground so that they will strike. Now they have gotten the foolish Eze, the misleaders we have in our land, to agree and to deny their own people that, look, we've been living peacefully with these people. Nobody should chase them from this land. I don't want to even hear it that anybody chase them out of this land. That is the way they can easily conquer our people. By the time they must have deceived the people, telling them there is peace, this and that, these people will recruit and bring in more of their men. After all, they have been peaceful people and all of that. By the time their number increased, that is when they will strike. And when they strike, they wipe out generations in that very striking. So our people should be careful. Okay, thank you so much. Our people need to be very, very careful. Very, very important. Our people need to be careful. Okay, we have the next one here. We were kidnapped by Fulani militias. Catholic priests. We were kidnapped by Fulani militias. Let's read from what we have here. At Nsukka, the Catholic priest of Nsukka Diocese, Reverend Father Celestine Eze, released recently from kidnappers' den, had alleged that those who kidnapped him were Fulani militias. Father Eze stated this yesterday at his Ascension Parish, Ihapu Oka, Iweze South Local Government Area of Enugu State, when members of Amufia Catholic Abroad Union St. Mary's Zone paid him a courtesy visit to rejoice with him over his freedom. He disclosed that the militias, numbering over 16 and armed with AK-47 rifles, We led them along Ipob axis of Kogi State and forced him and other road users into the bush. Added that they swam through a water canal to arrive at their hideout. He also told the Catholic Union that none of them was particularly targeted, adding that one of the militias who found out that he was a priest advised him to keep it a top secret while he was at their custody to avoid further punishment. Chairman of the Catholic Union, Emmanuel Ugu, and other members, including Geoffrey Ugwani, told the cleric that the union came to thank God over his freedom. Okay, you know, last time we said something here. It's always good that what is going on or what has been going on should be meted out, at least in a little measure, to those who do not understand our plea. So last time, the Fulani herdsmen invaded the church and tried to kill the priest. Now a priest was abducted, and this could be one of those who said IPOB are miscreants. They shouldn't, you know, they shouldn't put us into trouble. Today he is one of their victims. So what do you think?
Yeah, it's a very welcome development, because whenever I come here, I keep saying in time without number that rain is coming, and the rain is going to fall. And when it falls, it will beat everybody. The difference is that some people are just experiencing it for the very first time. Like us, the IPOB, those things are no longer new to us. The zoo soldiers have been abducting us, they have been killing us. So it's no longer a new thing to us. But them that are supporting evil, this is the time they will receive their own share. They will receive their own part of it. Because I keep saying it, that whenever you see evil and turn a blind eye, that evil will surely come to you one day. You know, when either you believe it or not. If you have a garden and your neighbors have his or her own too, and you allow a goat to destroy your neighbor's crop, one day that your neighbor's crops will get finished, and the goat will move into your own garden to destroy it. That is what is happening. When IPOB is shouting out, calling out to everybody that we should come together and fight this evil that is coming, people keep playing politics with it. Even the pastors or the reverend. This one kawototo, as in, thank God they even came out, because most of their victims, you know, Fulani herdsmen are making several billions from kidnapping. You know, it is because of Igbo. Because I remember when they arrested Evans, they played politics with it. Even Tinubu is still using it as a political statement today, that Evans or whoever killed Fasorati daughter. Maybe we'll come to that later. Now, out of that wickedness, you know, and those evil lives they have been living upon, that is why all these things is happening. Because had it been this very priest have the heart, the interest of the people at heart, he would have made it a priority the first time this evil happened. It doesn't matter the geographical space where that evil is happening. Evil is evil. Anyway it is happening, come out boldly, speak against it, organize people to fight against it. But you say, okay, it didn't happen in my own region, it didn't happen to me, it didn't happen to my own family member. Thank God, praise the Lord. You go to the church, you give testimony and all of that. Now it is happening to you. Now they are having their own Thanksgiving, and probably other priests that is watching out there will also relax and say, after all, this one did not concern me. When they are seeing this evil is not going to differentiate from anybody, because when rain is going to fall, it's not going to differentiate from who is your enemy or who is your friend. It will beat everybody black and blue together. So now, as this reign of Fulani herdsmen, this reign of jihad is coming upon us, look at what they are doing now strategically. They are taking over our land, kidnapping our people, demanding for ransom. There's one I heard the other day. One of our members called me and told me what happened. They bought the charter from Aba to somewhere. The Fulani abducted everybody and demanding 10 million on each person. Those who can afford it have paid, and those who couldn't afford it, all of them got killed. It is happening in Biafran land, and people are not saying anything. The Ezes that we have in those communities will probably come out and say, we've been living peacefully with these people. What are you people saying again? Why are you people disturbing us? You know, these are the kind of things that we do until when this thing will fully circulate everywhere and begin to beat everybody black and blue. By the time you will be complaining, this other person is complaining, nobody will speak out, because all of them are facing the same problem. But now that IPOB have taken it upon themselves to tell you people the truth, for you to know what is coming ahead of you, for you to know what you have. Do you know how many millions of Fulanis are trooping in from Mali, from Chad, from Niger, from so many places? They are trooping in because they have called them together to come. This is the place, Okwebara here. come and grab this land. This land belongs to them. Okay, like from that article you just read, from the last paragraph,
Yeah,
he told the young man that what
Nigeria belongs to them.
Yes, Nigeria belongs to all of us now. And that is the truth of the matter. That is the ideology they have.
Not just all of us, to them, the Fulani.
I'm putting them in the position. I'm saying that is the Fulani herdsmen.
Okay.
You know? So they believe that Nigeria belongs to them. Anywhere, any part of the world they are, all of them are gathering together. Even those ones that were chased out of Ghana, all of them are trooping in because they believe Nigeria is no man's land and it belongs to them. So that is why they have right to kill anybody, to kill at will, to do everything. The only thing that pains me is that people who are supposed to offer those protections to our people here, they are not doing it. Rather, they are conniving with the Fulani to kill our people. And another worst thing that is paining my heart is our people. Their attitude is very, very unencouraging because when all these things are happening, you still go about worshipping those Ezes, worshipping those governors, doing a lot of things. By now, all of them should have been a kind of excommunicated or even hassle. But I wonder why you still keep going to them. These are bloody men. They sold their soul to the wicked one. They sold their soul to the jihadists. They sold their soul to the Muhammad. Do you know most of them, they go to mosque? You understand? So that's why they are bringing these evil people in our land to commit heinous crime. Look at the one that's happening in the Ebonyi State. A Fulani will go and rape a married woman when you know that thing is a taboo that can wipe out a generation, and you are still handling it
the more they come to the knowledge that it is a crime, the more they commit it.
Exactly, the more they do
know
it.
the effect on the people and
exactly, and that is exactly how they will weaken the spirit of the people. You know, before you conquer anybody, you have to conquer that person psychologically. Exactly. By the time you conquer that person psychologically and spiritually, for you to conquer him physically is just a my case. So that is why our people need to open their eye and know who is, because anybody that is a friend to your enemy should also be considered your enemy. If you are a friend to my friend, I will still see you as my friend. But if you're a friend to my enemy, then you're automatically my enemy. So all these Fulani people, all these jihadists, terrorists in our land, all these Boko Haram in disguise are not part of us. And those who brought them in should be questioned. Why did you bring these people that are terrorists, that are killers? They are the number 4. I still wonder they are still remaining in that position because they have overtaken Boko Haram in the number of killing they have carried out. So they are supposed to give them the number 1 terrorist in the world. And now you are making them your friend. So you are my worst enemy. So every Biafran, every ordinary indigenous people, the people you should hold responsible for what is happening in and the idiot in Enugu State, Ugwanye, even Rochas, Okara, and the rest of them. And I look at what is happening in Nimo, even the new one that entered is also making friends with them. So these are the evil people we don't want in our land. So they are the enemies, and we should pass a vote of no confidence on them and come out and take our destinies into our hand. If not, the Fulani herdsmen, as we are agitating for our own freedom, they too, they believe Nigeria is their own estate. Everything in the zoo is their own estate. And until they dip their Quran in the deep blue sea, they will not rest. So for the fact that they are trying to sound politically correct now, should not, make you get carried away. You should not be deceived by those sugar-coated statements. We've been living here peacefully. They can stay here over 1,000 years to make sure they achieve their aim. And anytime they are ready and have the capacity to clear you, they will. That is how they did to our Hausa community. Before now, prior to this time, there is nothing like Fulani in this very geographical space. We have the Kanuris, we have the Bagis, and the rest of them that are domiciled in the north over there. They own all the land over there. But before you know it, when the Fulani came in, they came in and said, we've been living peacefully with you people now. But after some couple of years, they were able to overpower the people. They conquered and killed them. Then the remaining slaves, they subjugate them under them. That is why an Hausa man cannot even challenge a Fulani, no matter what, no matter the level of everything. That is exactly the same thing that is happening in Yoruba land now. Some Yoruba land has been conquered completely, taken over by the Fulani. And the same thing is going to happen in our land if all of us don't wake up now and begin to resist those who we should see as enemies, who call themselves leaders. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Of course, our people need to wake up. Our people need to wake up, and of course, you know, the extent of going to the clergymen is something, you know, it calls for concern, because if they are done with the ordinary people, and then the clergy now becomes their target. Don't you think it's time for this clergy to come out and speak up? Join IPOB to speak.
No, it is time for them to go and relax and make their money, because anytime they open their shop every Sunday, they make a whole lot of money. So none of them will come out and speak up. So for the fact that the Fulanis are going for them, it's a welcome development. At least some of them will wake up. Those who will see and begin to reason things from our own direction, we will appreciate it. But if they still choose to play hypocrisy in the face of evil, to play one-sided game, you know, when you see evil, you don't feel like condemning evil. That evil will keep coming, even to you. So it's a welcome development, and I appreciate it. I wish more of it will happen so that they too can wake up, because they keep accusing IPOB one thing or the other. Now that the Fulani herdsmen are carrying out the evil, none of them will come out to speak. That is the worst type of hypocrisy, and I hate hypocrisy with passion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And then this moment, we have to welcome Mazi Elvis Onwudi, where we know that the network has been frustrating. And I know already he's tensed with the network, but that is it's not our fault. That is what is obtainable in the contraption called Nigeria. We sincerely apologize for that. Mazi, good morning from here. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, Wada Ngozi, I am saying good morning, and Mazi Victor, I am saying good morning. Viewers, I'm a little bit late, but that is network connectivity, so you know how it is, and we must continue. So I'm saying thank you for bringing me in now.
Thank you. Okay, so far I wanted to say something about the issue of the Fulani herdsmen making the clergymen their target right now. So what do you have to say about that? Now it's no longer it's not just only the masses. Let me not say no longer, because the masses are also involved. But now the clergy are the major target right now. What do you have to say? Because these people have not been supporting us. They've not been concerned. Let me not say support. They've not been concerned over what is going on in our land.
Well, my sister, the only thing I have to say this very our period concerning this issue raised right now about Fulani raiding the clergies. We have been saying it before, because these are the clergies that have been rejecting to announce their foreign activities in their churches, and many of them communicated to the police, in which we saw some of it on the video that a brother raised up to say it in the church, because he wanted to give a testimony, and he used that opportunity to say at church that we should pray for Biafra. That was during 30th of May. He was bundled out and later arrested. I think that happens in Enugu. We saw such a thing. So if the Fulanis are facing them, well, it's too bad, but let them just take it, because the issues of wickedness is give and take. So if you thought that it won't get to you, it must surely get to you, because you didn't speak when it was happening to others, and you have a kind of the whole time in the world and the opportunity to speak concerning that, and you didn't say anything. So now that it's gotten to you, so you have to pay the price, because anyway, let it be like that. Let me just not just
okay,
kind of rejoice, because
okay, thank you. All right, let's look at the next one here. Obasanjo's letter. Coalition of Northern Groups calls for referendum. The Coalition of Northern Groups called for a referendum on the country's critical issues. The coalition criticized Chief Olusegun Obasanjo over his letter to President Buhari. The group said if there would be a national dialogue, people other than 50 should not make up the large number of participants. The Coalition of Northern Groups has criticized former President, his letter to President Muhammadu Buhari on the issue of insecurity. Vanguard reports that the group, in a statement signed by its spokesperson, Abdulaziz Suleiman, said the former president has failed to proffer any solution to the herders and farmers clash. According to the coalition, you know, it still baffles me that they still term this herders and farmers clash. So these clergies that are involved, that have become victims, are they also farmers?
Yes, of course.
Those who are abducted on the highway, are they farmers?
That is the political statements they use in deceiving and manipulating the brain of our people. When they tell you that it is half, okay, the one they used to attack 4 a.m. in the morning when the people are sleeping, is it also farmers and herders? So these are the kind of, instead of calling a spade, calling evil mass more than what it is, they will try to twist it the way it will suit their ear. You know, the zoo, it is built upon lies, and the only thing that they use in certainty is telling more lies, telling sweet words, sweet lies that that will deceive the people, that will make sure that the people will remain in slavery and bondage. They won't think like a normal human being. It is only IPOB and it is only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that tells the bitter truth, and that bitter truth is what is setting a lot of people free.
Okay, thank you. According to the coalition, it has carefully read Obasanjo's letter released on Monday, July 15th, and it shares the concerns expressed by the former president, especially with regards to the disturbing security situation. The group, however, rejected Obasanjo's call for a convocation of deliberation by other men, saying these were the same people responsible for the country's current situation. Instead, it called for a referendum which would involve dialogue between Nigerians below the age of 50 so as to deliberate on the problems in the country, the coalition said. We acknowledge in Chief Obasanjo's letter a U-turn from his earlier divisive and inflammatory standpoint, which has unfortunately been orchestrated by some regionalists against certain sections of the country, notably the North. The attempt by Obasanjo to reclaim his statesmanship by taking a relatively balanced position and a security lapse that threatens the very existence of the country this time around, though an afterthought, nevertheless serves to strengthen CNG's emphatic repudiation of the vilification of one ethnic and religious group or the other for whatever reason or justification. We also see in it a grand departure from the mischievous way some southern leaders are deliberately distorting the narratives around the recent criminal attack on Mrs. Fashoranti and attempting to blame it on the Fulani. The coalition said it acknowledged Obasanjo's recognition of the vital role and responsibilities expected of the regional leaders, and also the need to open up on differing grievances with a view to addressing them. The group added that it was in partial agreement with Obasanjo that Nigeria needs to hold genuine talks and dialogue if we are to continue as one country. It, however, expressed reservation over the usual peripheral approach to such discussions that have all along failed to address the real issues at stake. Okay, the first question, Mazi Elvis, why have these people resorted to referendum? We were the first people, the indigenous people of Biafra, we were actually the first people to talk about referendum, and it was misinterpreted as a call for war, and which led to the arrest of so many Biafrans. So why are they coming up now to talk about referendum? Because so many of them, as I then said, referendum is not contained in the Nigerian constitution. Have the constitution been amended? Why the call for referendum?
Yeah, my sister, let me just tell you, if these people are calling for referendum, we shouldn't be surprised, because we have pushed them to the tight corner. We have made sure that whatever thing we demanded, whatever thing we kind of apply to restore our nation, Biafra, must be accepted, whether they like it or not. So for them to come up to say something concerning Biafra now, it is just a shame on them, because they call it hate speech. They call it treason and treason and felony. They call it terrorism. They call it all manner of name. But right now, the main terrorist has been terrorizing the whole contraption, even going around killing and kidnapping those opinion holders now. Not only the what they call it, not only the less privileged or common man, but the thing.
Okay, we are having a network discussion. Network is really poor. So, can you say something about that particular issue?
Well,
why are they calling for referendum? Because they've always said a call for referendum is a call for war. According to the northern groups, when IPOB said something, when IPOB demanded for a referendum, they condemned it and they said it's not contained in the Nigerian constitution.
That is exactly what I'm trying to say. You see, that is a hypothetical hypocrisy, I will call this. When IPOB call it a referendum, they call it a call for war. But maybe from the other angle, it's like they are calling for war in the name of referendum, because I still believe that up until now they haven't understood what that word referendum really means. So maybe it is war they have in their mind this time around, and that is what they are going to get, because the war is already coming to them, and that is when they are beginning to look at Obasanjo. Those who are even part of the evil, those who created the evil. Okay, he was right in one particular sentence anyway. If they can get people that are below that very age he mentioned to come together, but it's just that the brain of those people
we will come to the age. We need to understand why they're talking about that age. But now the question is, has the Nigerian constitution been amended to have allowed referendum?
It has not, and it will not. It will never be amended. That is why if they want to sound political correct, they go to their useless constitution. But if they want to deceive you, they will be telling you about referendum, which they believe should not come up by this time, because it is very foolish and they are all cowards. That is how I will put it, because if you can crucify somebody, kill somebody, arrest somebody, some group of people because of this very word referendum, now you are coming out to mention it from the other side of your mouth, then that is the worst type of hypocrisy I have ever seen. So, I mean, people should not listen to them. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, thank you very much. Mazi Elvis, we apologize for that break in transmission as a result of a poor network. Can you hear me now? Hello?
Can hear you as always. Don't just mind that,
okay.
But the truth must be told. We're here to expose the lies.
Of course, we are unstoppable. Thank you so much. All right, they talking about age. Talking about age here, why do you think Obasanjo said men from 50 years and above, and the youth are saying from 50 years below? So why do you think now age should be a barrier to the referendum?
My sister, when a criminal comes up with an idea, he will always make some a point that looks as if that he has the people's mandate at heart. But whereas if you look into it very well, you'll find out that all his aim and objective has an ulterior motive. Why will Obasanjo, of all people again, that the claimant, though he was the one that brought this Jabril into the system, he knows the blind what they call it, is it flies or whatever, that flies to whatever. So for him to come up to give a kind of clause, a kind of level of people that should come up for a referendum, that means that we are still where we are. So that was the reason why the Goodluck Jonathan constitution review did not accepted and implemented into the system. And one, I want you to remember, these people that you are now trying to work together with, they are the people that said that they want to meet their elders to know exactly what referendum is all about. They said they don't know what referendum is all about, which means it will take some decades to lecture them of what referendum is all about. So how comes now you want to do some referendum with these people that don't even know what referendum is all about, and they don't want it, they don't need it, and now you come up right now to say is 50 years up and that. Let me just tell you why Obasanjo says such a thing on his own is for them to lie again, for them to manipulate again, for them to subjugate again and for them to still in control and power, so that because the revenue and oil block they own should not skip or slip out of their hands, because they know what they are doing. All of them, Danjuma, Buhari, Babangida, Yaradua's family, a lot of them owns an oil block, and this is where they all fed from. They don't have any other business apart from Outer Farm that belongs to Nigeria. The Nigeria left that Outer Farm was owned by Nigeria first at 77, and after the Nigerian 77, he converted it to his own personal. They allow him. So for him to come up to say this thing, he has an ulterior, dangerous motive that people should look into. But let me just tell you, no matter how they tried it to suit them, IPOB standard sure that they must do the will of IPOB, or else the zoo will sink, and the zoo has started sinking. So the earlier they do the needful, the better for them. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Mazi, to you, do you think this referendum is a welcome development, in spite of the fact that they still need more years to be tutored on what referendum is all about? Just like Mazi Elvis said, because they said earlier, we do not know what referendum is, so it means they need to be tutored. But is it a welcome development, and does it have anything to do with the indigenous people of Biafra's referendum?
That's exactly the difference between the both referendum. It means the same thing in spelling, but in meaning and understanding, it means different things to different people. Okay. The indigenous people of Biafra understand referendum as a kind of a ballot system where people make their choice to belong wherever they want to belong. And to the other people over there, in the north and in the west, they believe that the call for referendum is a call for war. They believe that when you call for referendum, you are calling for war. So maybe they are calling for war. They are organizing themselves to launch a war.
Just hold on, sorry. I think you are not on screen. We have some technical issues, so I'll come back to you on that. In case you're just joining us, this is Sunrise Daily News Analysis on Biafra Television, and we are reaching you from Biafra land. So all you need to do is keep sharing the program. Do not forget, this program do not need to go off air for a day. Sunrise Daily do not need to go off air for a day. So we need to work together to make it work. As much as you can, assist, sponsor this program. Very, very important. Try as much as possible to reach us on our WhatsApp line. Nothing is too small to ensure that this place is running very, very well. And of course that we have good cameras and in fact equipment in general. So please try as much as possible to join us on this. Don't forget, it is Biafra or Biafra, nothing more, nothing less. We must restore Biafra. And of course, do not forget, right now we are talking about Northern coalition of Northern groups calling for a referendum, and the IPOB have been talking about referendum, and they said, we do not know what referendum is, the constitution does not support referendum, but all of a sudden they are calling for a referendum. So like I asked Mazi Onyido, are we going to be part of this their proposed referendum?
You see, whenever you hear that very word or that statement, coalition, you need to first of all decode it and know coalition of what. Is it coalition of deceivers, coalition of evildoers, coalition of killers, or coalition of liars? We have to understand what we are coalitioning for, before we talk about what they mean. These are the Northern group who raised alarm, who kind of tried to set everyone on fire when IPOB mentioned the word referendum. They are now calling for referendum. So we have to understand what they are, these are the kind of a thing our people don't understand. When they ever use this very political statement to deceive you, you have to read the motive behind that very political statement, because they're using it to buy more time to prepare, because Fulani people, the jihadists, the Mohammedan, the Wahhabists, they don't believe in peaceful coexistence with anybody that is not coming from their own geographical space, or anybody that is not sharing the same faith with them. So they don't believe in anything like that. It's only going to take a lot of time, but surely they must strike So one thing that people should understand is that when they are saying all this coalition of deception, coalition of destruction, and coalition of lying, bringing up one political statement or the other, tell me what they are going to say now that IPOB have not said. Even what Obasanjo said, you know, after a very long time, or after crucifying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, calling him a small boy, at the end of the day, he came to concur. Every single one of them are now coming out to identify with our IPOB say. But when we said it in the first time, why didn't you give it a support so that people can begin to reason in that direction and at least get the little education? What about those who have just died, who have been killed by the Fulani people, and probably they must have reasoned with their, if they still have any brain in their skull, they would have reasoned that IPOB is saying the truth too, or yeah, let us call our people together. But you deceive them, telling them that a call for referendum is a call for war, and the people did not even prepare themselves until the Fulani brought the war to them in bringing Gwari, in bringing KB, and so many places, and killed and wasted a lot of people. They are not alive again. So who are you going to conduct the referendum with? So we have to bring a meaning to it. So I think our people have to be wise here.
Okay, thank you so much. We have another one here where a Fulani hitman was caught with 86 rounds of live ammunition concealed inside a bag of garri. He was caught at Umwewu Agwa Oguta local government area by the youths of the community. Mazi Elvis, what do you have to say about this, based on the fact that it was hidden in a bag of garri, and we've seen a lot of people moving with bags of garri, and you know, so many of them, they will tell you it's foodstuffs. You do not know. There are so many strategies of hiding their arms, their ammunition. So what do you think about this? How should the people go about this to ensure that they are being caught, just like this particular man right now?
My sister, I shed tears each time I saw some certain gullible stupidities of most of our people on social media, because if you are truly a neighborhood watch and something come up, there are things you don't come on social media to showcase, because you are not trying to tell your enemies that you are at work. Because if your enemy, just like one adage that said, because that is when you caught your enemy, you don't need to publicize and start advertising about your victory over your enemy. It lists for the enemy or the sender to clamor for the missing enemies, so that when they come around to ask you, you ask them who sent you, what was your mission. So what are their benefits? Showcasing the victory over their enemies on social media, which means our people, some of them, are still living in stupidity. So if you're concentrating in your own village as a youth that don't have work, that are not happy on the condition where you found yourself, the first thing for you to do is it to come on social media or make a wave so that you will be respected. Let me just tell you, my sister, the Igwe in council of that very place, what he will say and what he will do next over those of the youth that go those things. Very soon they will become the culprits. They will become the criminals that the police will hunt down, because they are the yardstick that stood up and kind of frustrating the missions of the Fulani. And even if they take them to the police, go and watch it. In the next 15 minutes or 20 minutes that were left to the stations, those people will be released and give back their ammunitions, or keep it and call their master, escort them back to the center with police escort. So for you to come up on social media to start sharing your victory, it shows the level of your stupidity. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, I don't think we have much to say on that, so let's quickly look at the next one here. Northern Elders Forum, coalition of northern groups, other headsmen out of South. There is deteriorating security situation. Nigeria's deteriorating security situation took a turn for the worst Tuesday night in Abuja, with the Northern Elders Forum and the coalition of the northern groups ordering Fulani herdsmen to leave the southern parts of the country and return to the north, where their safety and those of their cows are guaranteed. Herdsmen, while the northern bodies expressed lamentation on what they described as war threats by southern leaders against the Fulani herders, they said the safety of the herdsmen is very important. Addressing a news conference late Tuesday after a meeting of the Northern Elders Forum with the coalition of northern groups in Abuja, where the youths demanded the relocation of all the Fulanis back to the north. The Northern Elders Forum chairman, Professor Ango Abdullahi, said the elders are in support of the position of the youths, saying it was born out of the realization that the lives of Fulani herders have been put at risk due to the actions and utterances of southern governors in recent days. Lennon warns, we are worried about their well-being. If it is true that their safety can no longer be guaranteed, we'd rather have them back in areas where their safety is guaranteed. The bottom line is their safety. The bottom line is that their safety is far more important than their stay there. This is a country we all wish to keep together, but not at the expense of other sections, he declared. NEF also advocated the establishment of a judicial inquiry to determine the quantum of loss of properties by herdsmen and farmers and compensation paid to the warring parties. Coalition of Northern Group spokesman Abdulaziz Suleiman, who presented the position of the Northern Youth to the elders, stated that the Southern governors had on July 9th jointly agreed to stop the unhindered movement of herders and cattle in all the southern states. The governors even arrogated to themselves powers to decide which category of herdsmen can be allowed to live in the south and others whom they tagged as criminal elements. He further stated that the situation was worsened after a section of the southern leadership had introduced a fresh round of instigation by indiscriminately blaming the death of the daughter of the Afenifere leader, Pa Ruben Fashoranti, on the Fulani and threatening reprisals on the northern, contrary to on-the-spot accounts of her own driver and the official explanation by the police that the culprits were yet to be identified. He noted, throwing caution to the wind, Gani Adams, Fani Kayode, Yinka Ojomakin, and a host of other southern regionalists shamelessly insisted on changing the narratives around killing of the Fashoranti lady. In the process, they threatened all forms of violations and breaches against Northerners, including the threat of an all-out war. With all these statements and steps taken by the southern governors and opinion leaders, we are worried that none of the northern governors or federal officials has deemed it apt to caution them. Okay, needless reading further. So, based on this particular issue, do you really think they mean what they say?
Of course. They have always mean what they say.
So you believe the Fulanis are actually returning to the north?
I don't think all of them are going to return, but there are a particular group that they want, in particular, to return to the north. Then the rest will still remain there as a vigilante. What they are doing now, what they are implying now is that the time is coming closer when they will strike. And this is the warning signal for the people too, because even the radio station they are trying to launch in order to control them with their own language has not yet been, ready. So now this is the opportunity for them to call them back and for them to re-strategize on how to strike. And also I'm using that very opportunity to call on to our people over there in the north. This is the time for you to come back. Okay,
before we go to that, thank you so much. Mazi Elvis, what do you have to say about this issue of calling on the Fulanis to return? They from what we read here, they are so much aggrieved that the southern leaders, of course, the Biafra, the governors in Igbo land, part of Biafra, in Igbo part of Biafra, said there are categories of people or Fulanis that should be allowed. They called some foreign Fulanis. Why we were even angry that they did not take the bold step, they are still hiding, from the truth. They are also angry that they made an attempt to say no more movement. They should come in their truck or whatever, but shouldn't be moving from one place to the other. So they are really angry at that, and then they are calling Fulanis to return. So what do you think? What do you think? What do you envisage that they have in mind?
My sister, what I think, or what I thought, or what I am incubating, harboring, and kind of trying to exhibit is that the end has just come. And what is the nitty-gritty to the end solution? The nitty-gritty to the end solutions is for those of our brothers that we have been tirelessly talking to, just like what I said on the radio Biafra Hausa service this very morning, and I concord it with what our deputy has just said. During the 60s, if you watch how the war started and the casualties, those people that were injured, that were killed so much, were our people. During the 60s, such calls was made to the Hausas and Fulanis residing in our part, that is in the eastern part, and they take heed. They take heed, they listen to the instructions, and all of them went back to their various bases. That was why that not during the Biafra War, stroke the Nigerian Civil War, none of the Hausas were killed, and the world could not get to their place. Do you know that the most painful part that really pains me during that very period of war, if you read the histories of Biafra War, how it started, and people that suffered the massacre and genocide so much, they were our people. You know why? Okokondem and our People's General Ojukwu and General Effiong has been hammering on it, just like as Radio Biafra has been saying it right now. People are taking us for granted. People are using it for, they are cajoling us, they are mocking against us, they are saying all manner of ills, where some are laying causes. But let me just tell you one thing. But then during that very time, our people refused to return, our people refused to listen, they refused to take heed to the radio. Many of them were very busy drinking kunu. Some of them are drinking brukutu, because of, there was no much alcoholic that very time, only Guinness. So some of them that has money continue to drink Guinness, and they said that nothing will happen, that nothing is happening. Do you remember that immediately these people returned back as the call was made to them? Immediately returned back, the next thing that happens was to massacre millions of our people and put them on the train, repatriate them back, repatriate their dead body back to us. And that was when the rest of them started saying, hey, this is war, this is war. Ojukwu said it was Ojukwu kept quiet, because they did not listen earlier on. And this is exactly what is going to happen, because just like what I just said, if you could ascertain the histories of that very war, the only time Biafran killed Northerners, not only Northerners, they killed the invaders, those that want to invade us, the military, was the time they came in mass with their armor tanks, with their AK-47s, with their bomb and everything to destroy us. That was when we unleashed mayhem on them. That's when we retaliated to them. That was during is it Abagana sector, Bola side, and so many areas like that. And that was how we retaliated to them. And people we dealt with was the military. We deal together with the military and not the individuals. But they were busy massacring our people in the north just because they refused to take heed from the instructions. Right now, the Fulani spokesman gave 30 days. And 30 days is encroaching, fast approaching, and people said nothing mega. A lot of them comes even as I'm speaking to you now. Some of them have already bought goods in the main market that they will take back to the north to sell. Some of them are still coming back today to buy goods that they will sell, because they are busy doing buying and selling, while the houses are calling on their people to return back in mass. And when they return back, the next thing you hear is jihad. And they say that every Southerner that reside in the north should pack out. They said it in 2017. That was last 2 years. They said it, and they repeated the same warning this very year, give the same mandate. Now they've called their people using henchmen as a yardstick, but that is not what they mean. Because for Obasanjo to come up to speak about referendum, for Obasanjo to come up to tell you that he saw second war, that that means a very big, it means he has a very big weight. But our people, people in the just like what I'm telling you right now, we have been talking, our leader has been working, people has been, so many media and every, are they taking heed? Are they listening? Are they listening? Just like what I saw yesterday in the Alaba, when you sell one TV, you give them 3,000, they give you receipts. If you load it on a truck, you give them 3,000, they give you receipts. How much gain did you gain from that television? Why are you still in that very land? Let me just tell you, our people, including me, we are swimming in the ocean of stupidity. Over wiseness, they say that I am a Catholic for Omawa. Let them stay there, don't not come back, so that it will make more waves to the international community that millions of Igbos, millions of them that refuse to come have died, they are slaughtered in that very place, and you and the other nation will send their troops, they will send to their Red Cross to kind of do their needful, and at the end they won't take any action. So let us stay there. Now watch it. In 3 days, you won't see any outside again in the land of Biafra. Watch what I'm telling you. Go around right when I start them going. They know what is going to happen. But our people, when they must be attacking, maybe have more sense. Thank you, my sister.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Of course, our people need to be vigilant. You know, most times they come to make press statements, you know, to confuse you, telling you that they have called on the Fulanis to return. I don't believe that. I believe that's made propaganda. I mean, my own view, because from just watch it out. What you see now is maybe all those their truck. They will, you know, put their wives and children. Meanwhile, the men will remain. Okay, if they are going, but what about those of them who are not, you know, who are not headsmen, who are already down here, you know, ready to fight? We have those of them from Niger, we have those of them from Chad, we have those of them from, I think, several other West African countries who are already, you know, they've already created a refugee camp in Biafra land. So, telling us that they are returning, I think they are trying to confuse some of us. They are trying to confuse those gullible ones. So our people in the north need to be vigilant. Something is about to happen. And of course, there is a saying in Igbo language that okay, so this moment we will embark on a break. We urge you to stay tuned. When we return, the lines will be open for you to call in and make your contributions. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
No. When I say Biafra order, then I'll keep pushing. Either I am alive, I die in the process. I won't stop.
For you and for me.
Welcome back. You're still watching Sunrise Daily News Analysis on Biafra Television. And of course, we are live on Facebook, on Periscope, Twitter, and YouTube. Of course, our satellite TV is there as well. So please keep sharing the program, keep inviting your friends. Tell your friends, tell your families about this program. It's the best breakfast show you can ever think of. We are also transmitting simultaneously on Radio Biafra London for benefit of those who have no access to internet. They can listen to us on Radio Biafra London. Of course, this moment, lines are open for you to call in and make your contributions. Our WhatsApp line is 0905 6608 583. 0905 6608 583. That's our WhatsApp number. Then our phone line is 0702 0353706. For the last time, 0702 0353706. That's our phone line. Call us and make your contributions. Let's hear from you. What do you think? What's your take on the topics we've discussed so far? And of course, let me read the headlines again. The first one here: Nimbo massacre, a recorded killing to show my people our success, says killer headsman. 2. We were kidnapped by Fulani militias coming from a Catholic priest. 3. Obasanjo's letter, a coalition of northern groups calls for referendum. 4. A Fulani headsman was caught with 86 rounds of live ammunition concealed inside a bag of garri. So be vigilant wherever you are. Be vigilant. Watch your back. Watch your brother's back. Watch who you are moving along with. They might be carrying something that could destroy you. The next one, Northern Elders Forum, coalition of northern groups order headsmen out of South. They've ordered the headsmen to return. What about the other Fulanis? If the headsmen return, what happened to those of them from Niger, those of them from Chad, those of them from other West African countries that are already in our land? They've already, gotten their, their positions, their strategic positions in different forests. They've built their tents, yet they are not headsmen, they are not with cows. There are so many of them that have no single cow taken care of, but they are here on a mission. So our people need to be very, very vigilant. Then those of them in the north, those people in the north, Biafrans in the north need to, they need to use their head. They need to be smart. They need to be smart. There is this saying in Igbo language that Aga Karaka Diget Wangura. So the information have been going on. Of course, we are given 30 days. And then we heard the leaders from Biafra land telling them to relax. He said there is no problem. We are in touch with the northern governors. So now that these people have called on their people to return, don't you think these same leaders who have told them to relax should do something, or also call them again and tell them to return? Okay, we'll have a call on the phone. Hello, call on the phone. Call on WhatsApp. Hello.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, my beautiful sister, Godi Chukwuka.
Welcome to the program.
And good morning, Mazi Omido Victor and Mazi Evix and American. My sister, what about our brother Mazi Oriako?
Okay, Mazi Oriako is fine. He's doing perfectly well, but in another department. He's no longer with Sunrise, but he's working in a different department of IPOB.
Wow, I really miss him.
Yeah, we do.
Anyway, may God be with him anywhere he is. I greet Biafrans all over the world. My name is Onyedikachi Biafra. I am calling from my own Bayern, Germany. My sister, I want to contribute on this, their Fulani correlation, or their father calling the Fulani part to their nation, their north and south. That is to confuse the gullible Biafrans, on their plan, on what they are planning to do. They are set up now to kill. What they are simply planning is to, retrieve their women, the Fulani women who were in our land, yet they will bring them back to north, and then leave the fighters in our land, so that when they will start killing our people over there, and then the people here over our side will start killing us too. So I am calling on our people to open their eyes and to do the right thing when this time we still have a little bit of time. You know, if I may say, I don't have time. We don't have time. You know, but let our people open eyes. Let our people be ready for what is coming on. What is coming on is huge. It's very bigger than how we imagine. You know, so I am calling our people to wake up and defend yourself. If you don't have ammunition, go and buy one and keep. Safeguard yourself. Self-determination is not a crime. You cannot be in your house, you see someone come and kill you, you will be there praying, oh, let Jesus come and take away gun from Fulani herdsmen. Go and buy gun if you don't have one. Go and buy gun. And for our young men that are there in Biafra land doing nothing, calling themselves BSMS or BBMMS, they are not doing anything. They're only in Facebook warrior, you know, using their mouth to fight the struggle. Let them go into the bush and discover where these people hid their ammunition. Let them go into the bush and discover it and take the ammunition to safeguard their nation called Biafra, our beautiful nation. This is my own contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I will correct one impression. IPOB is a non-violent organization until we decide to pick up arms. It must come from the leadership. Then if you're talking about the BSMS and all that, you know, who are just making a hell of noise, you tell them to go into the bush and disarm them. My brother, before you disarm someone with an arm, you must have one before you can disarm them. So the question is, how many have you empowered? It's okay, take one of these AK-47, go into the bush and get me 50 AK-47. Our people can do it, but they must be empowered. So I'm not saying go and empower BSMS or whatever, but let's get it straight. The people that are willing to do something, they are on ground, but until the leadership says something, and you also must do something. You must empower them much you can. Empower your people in the community. Now, different communities will have our youth. When you empower them to fight for you,
I mean, we must do something. We must do something. We don't have time anymore.
Leadership.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, so, you know, I just finished reading the other news we have here. Okay, I'm yet to read it. We have one more news we will talk about before we go. Yeah, hello. Call on the phone. Call on WhatsApp, hello. Call on WhatsApp.
Hello, good morning. My name is Kelechi. I'm calling from Lagos.
Program.
Hello, Madam Ngozi. Good morning.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, my name is Kelechi. I'm calling from Lagos. Ngozi, good morning for your good work.
Thank
All
you
right. I was following your program this morning when you were talking about the killing in Enugu State. At least after, I think, 4 years or 5 years now, they begin to bring out the people who kill our people in Enugu State. I think about, last month, a particular AC and the governor of Enugu State gathered some Fulanis to tell us that they are living in peace and they have been in Enugu State. See, like our brother say that the people that they used to kill us, they are not going to come from Niger. They are going to be these ones that is living in our land, that knows in and out. They are the people they have been using, and this is us to tell us that they are living in peace. Now the same people that have been living in peace now have confessed how they went to invite other of their brothers to come and massacre our people. These are the reasons why we must do everything to make sure that these people Fulani people have told us early 2016 that they are going to use our leaders, that they are going to use those who call themselves our leaders, Igbo's traditional rulers, to enter us and to destroy our land. That is what they are doing today. And one thing that pain is, whenever these people destroy people's crops, what the governors will go, they will compensate the needs and leave the people who their crops have been destroyed. I don't know how long our people will keep quiet and all this calamity going on in our land. I was listening to one a place called himself Oscar Chipu whatever in the AIT yesterday. That place also was all day supporting evil. There are genocide, ethnic cleansing in this. It pains me, it disturbs my mind that somebody from the Biafra land can stand in the international like AIT and defend Buhari for calamity that is committing. It shall not be well with them. But I want to inform our people that what we want is Biafra. No matter what happens, we are going to get our land. If Fulani, let them release all the Fulani in West Africa. Our land, they can never get it. It is, in fact, even if it is one person remain, that person will get Biafra. They can't get our land. They should not. We scattered all over the world. When we gather tomorrow, these people never know what they are planning their own. They never know what is coming for them. And those elite, those some that call themselves governor or elite, you will not go stay in our land when we start. We will go after you, go after your family, go after everything you have. You cannot come back. Let them hear it. We are not now. We are talking, and they say that we are talking. When the time of action, they will regret their life.
All right, thank you very much, our brother, for that wonderful contribution. Of course, Biafrans and all of us of freedom, this is the time for everybody to wake up from their slumber. This is time for you to stop listening to political statements of all these misleaders, just like our brother have rightly pointed out. We don't have to be deceived by them. We don't have to be carried away. This is the same Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi that came out to cry and to ask people to fast and pray. The same person came some couple of weeks ago to tell us that he has been in harmony and in good times with the Fulani people, the same Fulani people that have killed and massacred a lot of our people. So that goes a long way to tell you that people we call Eze or Ezi, whatever they are in our land, they are not helping us. They are not doing us well. They are they are more deadly than the enemies we have, because enemies within is more worse than the enemies without. Have a call on WhatsApp. Call on WhatsApp, are you there? Oh, we seem to have lost him. Please do try and call us back, and make sure you tune down the volume of your listening device so that we can have an effective communication. Keep the calls coming in. We'll have another call on WhatsApp. Call on WhatsApp, good morning. Hello, call on WhatsApp, good morning. Can you hear me? All right, please make sure you call back and tune down the volume of your listening device. Tune it way down so that we can have effective communication, because sometimes if you listen to yourself, it makes it to jam. We'll have a call on WhatsApp. Call on WhatsApp, good morning. Hello, call on WhatsApp, good morning. The line is still acting up. All right, please do try and call us back. You can still call us on our Facebook line at Sunrise BTV, and also call us on Skype. Okay, we'll have a call on Facebook. Call on Facebook. Good morning. Hello, call on Facebook. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning from here. I want to greet you all for your good works and what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah. My name is Chukwuabiamanonso Obiora. I have been listening since morning, and there is something I want to say about this the threat that these people are giving to us. But before I continue, please, these are brothers that contributed. I think Elvis, yeah. His contribution is very, very, very kind of is astonishing. I must tell you. But there is something he will do, because this is a television program that flag behind him, I think is a flag, but he needs to look at the flag very well, because people that is viewing the flag, I think there are complaints there. It's not complete. The one that is supposed to be green is somehow blue. So it should change the flag. So now, back to what I'm saying,
the flag,
about
the color is okay. Even from there, it is green and red, black. All the colors are complete. It's just camera resolution. You know, camera have a different way they interpret colors. So from looking at it from here, it is completely green. It's a different flag. So it might be from the color interpretation of different devices.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
okay.
Please go ahead.
Yes, I understand. Okay, I now understand. Okay, that's all right. Thank you very much. So now, people, because these people, there is something what Ngozika said. They have been using their sense, their brain on us, and most times our people do fall into their trap. You understand? Let it not be that we will be so, stupid to fall into this very trap now that have set up. These people are not going anywhere. They are with us here. We will see trucks of outer people going down, but they are not returning. These people are strategizing. They are there. They are here in our land. So let's open our eyes. We will fight these people because they are still here. They are here to destroy us. So what I'm saying, those people in the north that are people are glamoring, let them return by let them stay there. How much they can have, they are human beings, they can as well fight. Yes. Upon this thing in 67, they will start that very fight from the north. I somehow have dropped from our leader that we will not fight this battle in our land. That we will start from that north there. So how much they have, they are still soldiers. Let them start the fight there. How much they shouldn't come back. Come in to do what? If you are weak, even if you be weak, that you cannot do anything, enter a bus, return back. There's no problem. But let those people with heart stay there. Also, if you let them begin it from there, what are you running? But if you say, if you know what you for that now, you can't do it. Return back home. That is what I'm saying to this. So let our people back home be prepared for these people because they are here. They haven't left a job anywhere. In this side of Neri, I saw many of them. People are saying that they are not in Anambra. These people are here, in Anambra. Someday there was a day I came to my sister's shop, and I was there. And I was a Fulani man entered the shop. He wants to come and order Rachel wine. I said, my God, I was in my presence and my sister. If I close my eyes and open it, you have open it from here, I will destroy you. He has to run away. My sister don't know that the customer. I said, which kind of customer is that?
I've called on WhatsApp. Call on WhatsApp.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Please tell us the name and where you are calling from.
Good morning from here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Please go ahead and make a contribution.
Good morning, Am I coming out now?
All right, do try and call us back. The network is really acting up, and of course, this is Sunrise Daily News Analysis. Please call in to make a contribution. The lines are open. You can call us on Skype, and you can call us on Facebook at Sunrise BTV, and also you can call our WhatsApp line. It is displayed there on the screen, and also on our phone lines. It is displayed there on the screen. We would like you to make your contribution so that we can keep moving on. All right. While the calls keep coming in, Mazi Elvis on the way. Can you hear me? Hello, Mazi Elvis on the way. Can you hear me? voice is not coming out. All right, please keep the calls coming in. This is not doing the analysis. Of course, the last caller, he made a very strong point there that people over there in the north, if they can fight, then let them stay there.
Are you hearing me, my brother?
Now I can hear you now. I want you to react based on the last caller's statement, advising our people over there in the north to stay and fight, and those who couldn't fight should come home. What do you make of it? It's a new development. Anyway. Hello, Mazevis. Did you hear what I just said?
First and foremost, before I said anything, I would like to urge reference. I'm hearing you. I heard what you said. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you. Just go ahead.
Are you hearing me? I heard what you said.
Yes, just go ahead. Go ahead. I can hear
Hello.
you.
To really invite them, they can invite them and so they can give them even all of them will keep quiet. Our people should wake up. They should stop listening to all these people that call themselves men of God. They are not any men of God. They are men of dogs. They are evil people. They don't care about you. They don't care if you are being killed or not. All the people that have been killed in the inside the church, these have not condemned it. None of them is saying anything about it. The only thing they are after is money, their pockets, money, and their stomach. So our people should stop listening to all these people that call themselves men of God. The only people that stand for you is IPOB under the leadership of our supreme leader, Nnamdi Kanu. It is only IPOB that will save us. Our people should join IPOB. Anyway, you are join IPOB because it's the reason neither way to go. These of the Fulani telling their people to come back to the north, that one is a joke. They just want to confuse our people. The good ones, they just want to confuse them. They are there. Some of them don't have room. That's not they are cleaning to see their home. They don't want to stay around. They are going nowhere. So they have seen our place now as their home. The idiot, one of them that day they were going to Norway with the useless man that called himself Ukwani. He was thinking that nobody had his place or his somebody in our own land. The other one in Nabani, the only thing they are calling that and the other one in Nabani over there, and he also said that under the leadership of Ukwani, there are many people, many of the people have come down to show you that these people are fully prepared and our people they can't imagine I need a education. You can't even hear here. You will not even remember that you have a shop. Now, why can't you join this struggle? Why can't you join that you can support in any way you can support?
Right. Thank you very much. All right, keep the calls coming in. You can call our WhatsApp line, also you can call us on Skype. All right, we'll have a call on Facebook. Call on Facebook. Good morning. Hello, call on Facebook. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mazi, Victor Onido.
Good morning and welcome to the program. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, good morning from here. Am I coming out clear?
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. My name is thank you, bro. My name is Ruben Ofudrichu, I'm calling from the United Kingdom. Your news analysis. Yes, what I just want to say is, regarding the Fulani and the
land as some of the distant relatives. Okay, we'll have a call on WhatsApp. Call on WhatsApp. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Mazio Yudo and This is Annie King, and I'm calling from Dubai, United Arab Emirates.
Master King, you're welcome to the program. Please go ahead and make a contribution.
Anyway, is in Soka province, Biafra land. Yeah. The program, I want to just make share my own view concerning the topic on this course for Fulani men and their coalition statement concerning their people. They are recalling their people back home to the north. This is just they are just trying to play. They are not going anywhere. These people, they are out for work. But they just want to play victim. So our people should relax. Our people should be very, very security conscious. We have seen a lot of incidents whereby they are using every means to make sure that they kill our people. So my own opinion is this, that our people should not relax. Be security conscious in every movement and also try to give continuous awareness, because a lot of our people don't know what is going on. Let our people boycott everything Fulani, be it drink, be it stock, whatever they are selling, be it sugarcane. Total boycott of whatever Fulani is selling in our land, not only cow meat. And I will also suggest that in this August meeting, I think our women should have a role to play, so that they can give a good awareness of buying meat to cook in your house. Fulani meat. And once we do all these things, once they get frustrated, when they catch sugarcane, nobody is buying. When they become but they just want to play victim, to say that we are the people that don't want them to stay. So they want to. The war people, the weapon, everything is set. And the only advice I will give our people there at home is, if you cannot defend yourself, it's better you come back to Biafra land. But if you know you want to claim the Igbos of northern Nigeria, then, and you like your to them, if you kill a person that is Biafran, they are going to heaven. That is, they taught them. So they don't care. It's not what we are thinking, it's what they are thinking. So, Biafran, to make sure that they are security conscious. Keep on creating awareness on what is on the pending doom, because this is a genocide that they are planning. And the Fulani, the Jibri and the Kaba, they have already equipped them with weapons. $100 billion is not one naira. They have been well equipped in terms of weaponry. So, and the radio stations, the radio station also is also another way to spread their plans. So I'm just making this point so that we should go and relax. If we have won the war, they have said to go back. no, these people are not going back. These people just want to play victim in the eyes of international community that people are this. And there is another way to make sure that anybody being in Biafra land as a Fulani man has an evil motive, because these people, they should their system, and once they believe in what their Alhaji said. So all these people that you
watch and be very vigilant, because the war is about to start. So thank you very much. My name is remains Elvis and I sign up from here. It is station here tomorrow. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, our brother Mazi Elvis on the way for that wonderful submission. Of course, dear friends and all of us of freedom, we are still using this very opportunity to solicit for your support and help in any way you can to make sure that this television station does not shut down. The enemies are attacking us, and that is not just the problem alone. We also need to upgrade our system. Some of our systems are completely outdated, and we need to fix them. We need to get new things. We need to get new cameras and new video transmitters and a lot of things to get it running like it used to be. So you can do the best you can. No amount is too small, no amount is too big. We just need to keep this place up and running so that we can serve you better, because I have seen a lot of people are complaining, but it is not our fault. We are trying the best we can. And of course, if all of us can join hands together collectively and fight this battle, we'll come out victorious at last. So don't always think of what IPOB will do for you. Think of what you can do for the IPOB. Don't think of what you can take from the table. Think of what you can also bring to the table and be a part of the solution. All right, my name is still the man, Victor Onyedo. Until I come your way, same time, same station. Stay tuned and wait for more wonderful program. And stay blessed wherever you are. Bye for now.